we're going to go from one good guess to another favorite of the show. I see her in the background. We're joined. Ooh, joined with Sarah Bils. How you doing, Sarah?
Good. How are you?
I am doing okay. I am getting stuttering, and I'm wondering if it's something that I did, and I don't know if there's a way to fix it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix this. Does that let me do it? Does that let me do it? I may not be able to fix it after the show. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Video. Okay, I'm going to try to fix this now. Give me 1 second, because I think I know what's going on. I was getting stuttering with Professor Wolf, which doesn't typically happen. And I think this is what's going on. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
No, good.
12. I think it's this, 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 and we're back. I think that's better.
Does it work?
It's working. It's just I'm getting my guests are freezing when they're talking. I don't think Jeff did. Oh, it may be the distance because Jeff is like, no, but that doesn't make sense. Jeff was 2 hours away before it. Now he's 3 hours away. He's doing fine. It's okay. Let's light this candle. Thank you for joining me, by the way. Sarah Bils, host of DD Geopolitics. It's just going to bug me. That's all. I don't know what the difference is. There's something different about being here as opposed to being in Malaysia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just don't know what that difference is. There was a camera flicker. At first, Jeff was like, yeah, well, you're on this side of the world. You have to do this. All right, fix that part. And then I noticed that many of the guys were freezing, which doesn't typically happen. Maybe a little bit, but not that much. And then I was like, okay, what the hell is this? So there's something anomalous about being in this part of the world that it's not, let's say, my system setup is not necessarily frowning upon it. Yeah, but let's light this candle. Thank you for joining me. I always appreciate these conversations with you, and I always have the difficulty figuring out where to go to first. So let's go to Venezuela, I guess. Let's go to Venezuela, or should we go to Russia first? Let's go to Russia first.
Okay.
Donald Trump has effectively asked China and Russia to join in with talks about denuclearization. Now, this is hilarious to me. You started a war. You have asked countries around Asia, like, hey, Australia, hey, South Korea, hey, Japan, are you guys ready to die for the dignity of the United States? And then you're like, by the way, let's talk about nuclear dearmament. So this is disarmament. This is Trump making this statement. I don't know what reception he thought he was going to get from this, but I'll give you the reception after I show
one of the things we're trying to
this question.
One of the things we're trying to do with Russia and with China is denuclearization. And it's very important. One of the things I discussed with President Putin the other day, it wasn't just that, it was also other things. And I think the denuclearization is it's a big aim, but Russia's willing to do it, and I think China's going to be willing to do it too. We can't let nuclear weapons proliferate. We have to stop nuclear weapons. The power is too great. One of the things we're trying to do.
Now, I don't know exactly when this particular quote was made, but I do know
that was Tuesday.
It's fixed. Excellent. I figured it out. I think maybe. Damn it, I don't think I did. Okay, so that was Tuesday. I wasn't sure because he said that once before and I wasn't sure. But
yes,
I remember
he said it back in June.
It popped back up in the headlines. China gave a very swift response to that, which was, I will give you a second to try to guess what that response is. It was no. China rejects Trump's proposal for denuclearization talks with the U.S. and Russia. That was one of the things that the U.S. wanted to do, was try to tie Russia and China to those particular negotiations. Give me your take on this. I mean, what is it with him? Like, does he just not get
our nukes are not modernized? They're not up to par. The other day, the Russians made an announcement. Either couple nights ago, they made an announcement that their entire nuclear arsenal has been modernized, and basically is at the ready. So they have more nukes than us and a more advanced nuclear arsenal than us. So instead of advancing our own, or it's going to cost us billions to modernize ours, to do the updates to everything, it's just kind of the smoke and mirrors to say, you know what? We should just denuclearize. If you can't beat them, try to get them to give up their weapons. Plus, China is making nukes at an astounding rate and building factories to make even more. So they will be caught up. I think they said by 2030, they'll be caught up to us. So it's that we can't keep up with their arsenals. We haven't modernized our own. A lot of ours are out of service. So it's more of the let's say try to save some money this way. And you get the bonus of the Trump Nobel Peace Prize, buttressing that sort of cause up again, making Trump look like he's doing something for the world, taking us away from the brink of nuclear war.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just a bit rich. That's all. And it seems that Trump doesn't quite understand how other people are seeing this, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think he gets that you are forecasting a war with China when you're quote unquote Asian pivot, and you are in an actual war with Russia. How do you ask them with a straight face to do this? I understand why. And I'll give you another clip that kind of makes this point. When Donald Trump was listening to right here. So, Lavrov was giving interviews. And in one of the interviews that Lavrov gave, Lavrov pointed out that, look, we're not signing deals with Zelensky because obviously he's illegitimate. And they've explained this so many times that it's, at this point, it's just automatic. Listen to what Trump says when asked about signing a deal with, about Putin effectively saying, look, I'm not signing a deal with Zelensky. He's illegitimate.
Question for Steve Witkoff, if I may.
Yeah.
This past weekend, Sergei Lavrov was saying that Putin will not sign a peace deal with Zelensky because Russia views him as illegitimate. Just wondering if the Russians have been relaying this to your team, if they view Zelensky, as the leader worth signing a peace deal with, if they will.
Doesn't matter what they say. Steve can answer, but I can answer too. Doesn't matter what they say. Everybody's posturing. It's all bullshit, okay? Everybody's posturing. Steve, do you have a different answer?
I agree with you, sir.
Question for Steve Witkoff, if I may.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it. They're not posturing.
They're not.
And this goes to a deeper issue with Trump. Like, I think in his mind, he thinks these are just personality conflicts. He said
that. That was a quote. It's a conflict of personality. I wrote a post about it. I wouldn't even be able to find it, but I wrote a post about it that said that. It was like, this is just another sign that you have no idea what you think, that they're just fighting because Zelensky and Putin don't like each other. It just shows you that that's why Trump would go to war over like a personality difference. They have no clue. And that just solidifies the fact that they should not be mediating this at all. Because they think it's like if we put you two in the same room, eventually you'll just get along. It has nothing to do with Zelensky and Putin. Nothing to do with the two like them as people.
Yeah. He seemed to think that it does. And I think therein lies the rub. I think for Trump, he thinks, well, I deal with people as big personalities. I'm a big personality. People are. It's almost like I lie constantly in regards to the way I maneuver the world. And so them telling me exactly what they want, they're just lying. They're just making it up. They if I push hard enough, if I keep going, they'll have different demands.
It's that.
Dude, no. It's just like you ask me what I want to eat, and I say, yeah, let me get a steak and potatoes. And you're like, but you don't really want that, do you? No,
but that's literally Trump. That's it. You hit the nail on the head. It's that sort of the art of the deal. I can make anybody make a deal. I'm the best salesman. I can sell anything to anybody. I can sell ice to an Eskimo. And it's like, that's not really, this isn't a business transaction. This conflict, it's not a business transaction.
Yeah, it's a
It
global war.
is, but that's not even close to the majority of what it is. So, I mean, you could get the business part out of the way, and then I bet the Russians would be like, well, we're still going to go to war.
Right. Yeah, they're separate and distinct. Does the war continue? Is there really any track for negotiations on this from your point of view?
I don't think so. It actually looks poor. Yesterday, I think Peskov came out and said there's no plan. And you know, when they come out and say there's no plan for communication between the two, that's a no for now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look good. I think that Russia is sending messages. I went over this really in detail on Tuesday on my stream. I had a 2-day delay, but look at what Russia's striking. Look at the objects they're striking. Last night they hit the British. It wasn't the consulate. Crap. What was it? The British Council office. It's unusable. They hit the Turkish drone factory last night. They hit Azerbaijani stuff again last night. So watch what they're doing. They're not interested in negotiating either. They are bombing NATO assets everywhere in that country strategically because they know that it's going to force them to answer for it.
What do you mean force them to answer for it?
Because if Turkey wants to make noise about it, what will they say? We have a drone factory in Ukraine. And then Russia will say, well, then that's a military target. It's going to just make them look stupid. So there's really nothing they can say. Well,
I see.
Yeah. Same with the Azerbaijani thing. He quietly condemned that. He did not. There was no big outrage. Quietly condemned that because they know the backlash is, well, that oil goes to Israel. You know, so they do these things strategically. Maybe this is cope, or maybe I'm just being Russian Kremlin bot, but they do things strategically to send messages. They're not a very vocal people. They're not a very verbal people. The saying words are wind is Russian. They don't, it's all action. That's why you see Putin does things. I did a whole segment on it the other day because I was talking about what he does instead of talking. You know, immediately following these denuclearization things or even hints thereof, he went out and visited the atomic bomb factory. He went out and visited the atomic bomb city of the USSR and then laid flowers at the grave of the man who created the atomic bomb. Like, if people aren't like, and that's the thing, it's the subtlety. If people aren't watching what the Russians are doing, they'll miss these things. Then they start bombing. That night they bombed at the American factory. And really, the Americans didn't have much to say about it. They asked J.D. Vance for a reaction, and he said, it's war. Kind of like a coat. They asked Lavrov, why are you striking American factories? He said, we don't strike anything that isn't a military target. And that ended the conversation. So they're bombing these things, making people look stupid. What are you talking about, NATO involvement? You're already there. So you watch what they're bombing. They're sending a message, a very clear message. They bombed the British hit last night. It was pretty serious. They've been summoned the government has summoned the ambassador. So
interesting. Yeah, they're making a point. I mean, they're not hitting that stuff randomly. They're not wasting missiles to stop Zelensky from getting coffee. It's like, oh my God, they did this to spite me. I wanted to get coffee.
They really wanted to make me unhappy, so they bombed my favorite coffee maker place. Like, what are we talking about here?
Yes, I don't think they would be doing that.
They use calibers on your favorite coffee place?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you spend all this money on a hypersonic missile to take out Zelensky's coffee.
Yeah, they did use Kinzels last night. So yeah, exactly. They're using high-tech, expensive projectiles. They're not bombing Zelensky's favorite McDonald's. They're taking out military targets.
And by the way, I agree with you. I don't see a path. Like, if Trump is arguing that this is an issue of personalities, then he fundamentally doesn't get what's going on. And if it's all BS, okay, it's not all BS. I don't know how many times they could tell you.
And how insulting.
Yeah.
That they're just fighting over personalities. You got 1.7 million dead Ukrainians and probably less, like up to 1 million dead Russians, maybe 500,000 dead Russians, and that's over personality. Like, how
Yeah.
disrespectful and dismissive.
On to another issue that is going to probably get your blood pressure up or annoy you deeply. It annoyed me for some reason. I don't even live there. Annoyed me.
Iran?
Yes. Resumption of
I knew it.
work in Iran
I
proves
keep
it's
telling you,
responsible.
I keep telling you about Iran. You don't want to listen. We knew this was
What
going
do
to
you
happen.
mean?
You
What do you
always
mean?
think they're gonna like come out of the woodwork and just start like living up to the hype. They're not going to live up to the hype, dude.
Wait, live up to what hype? What am I missing? You said live up to the hype.
Yeah, they're not the hype of true promise. Like they're
Oh,
entering back in the IAEA is back in the country. They've literally conscientiously said, yes, send the spies back into our country.
yes, they did. And just to make this point clear, since you're kind of hidden it, Iran's foreign minister, Arakachi, he says the decision to allow a team of IAEA inspectors into Iran was approved by the Supreme National Security Council and is primarily intended to supervise the changing of the nuclear fuel rods at the Bushehr nuclear power facility, unquote. As for another one, you have TASS, which I don't know why Russia put it this way, but okay. Resumption of IAEA work in Iran proves its responsible position, according to a Russian diplomat. Get the F out of here. Proves suckers. Suckers. If you're going to take a stance and say we're kicking you out the country because, you know, you gave information over in order to get all these people killed, and nuclear scientists no less, then going back on it a few months later, it's nonsense. Nonsense. And groveling to the Europeans, by the way, where the Europeans are about to use and issue snapback sanctions.
I was just going to say, not only that, they said they're looking forward to it, as in they can't wait to put sanctions back on Iran.
And yet Iran is like, please take these sanctions off. By the way, the sanctions should never be put on in the first place. I mean, Iran stayed with the JCPOA. The U.S. pulled out. The European powers were supposed to be protecting Iran when the U.S. pulled out. What the F?
I guess Iran's going to have to learn like Russia did. Like, international law does not exist. So participating in this nonsense is stupid and frivolous. Russia will do their little song and dance at the UN, but they don't take any of this stuff seriously anymore. As international law has been completely subverted and destroyed by the United States and Israel. So why is Iran like forcing itself to act within this framework? It's stupid. But it'll come back to bite them in the ass in the end. This will not bode well. Why would you let the IAEA back into your country? Russia barely lets them in to inspect Zaporozhye. Like, it's...
Yeah, what do they have to gain on this? Like, that's the part that mystifies me. What do you have to gain in this? Like, ultimately, the European leaders, after you got attacked, they attacked you after you were attacked and blindsided. They didn't go after Israel. They said, oh, Iran, and their response is just horrible. They are about to put sanctions on you, even though you didn't do anything wrong. You were the party that was wronged. And the IAEA apparently gave over secrets, according to Iran, that got his nuclear scientists killed. So what the hell? The entire point of kicking them out the country was because they were spies. And now, what, you deport like 1 million people or whatever that number is, but bring back in spies that got you people. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, help me on this. What am I missing?
I don't know the plan. I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get their behavior. Like, is this the reformist government once again effing it up? Is this, I don't know, a plea believing that the Europeans are going to do something
Breaking
right?
news. The France, Germany, and the UK have triggered the UN snapback mechanism by notifying the Security Council set to reinstate sanctions on Iran that were suspended under the nuclear deal. The sanctions will take effect in 30 days unless a new agreement is reached. European powers emphasize they are still willing to negotiate with Tehran.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So you try to negotiate again in good faith. You let spies back into your country, and you have sanctions in 30 days. Congratulations, you've played yourself.
Yes, sir. I don't get it.
I don't know either. I really don't. really
I mean,
don't.
it aggravates me just because it's like somebody would say you have no skin in the game. I would argue
We all have
skin
skin in the game. Oh,
right
jinx.
there, right there, right there. I think we all have skin in the game on this in regards to this kind of new world that we want to bring into fruition.
Not even
And
that. Even now I'm looking around and I'm like, I said to somebody, one of my colleagues that's more of a centrist or a middle ground person, and I was like, the time is coming where you will be forced to choose a side. And they said, by who? And I was like, the world. Like, there is a huge schism happening right now. The wheels
Yeah.
are about to fall off.
I think that's true also. It just, this seems unsustainable. But who knows? I mean, you know, yeah, who knows? I don't, I was bewildered by that. And you know, I have some of my guests, and in fact, they need to bring Miranda on to talk about it. Because it's like, dude, what are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all doing? I'm bewildered by what y'all doing. All right, so the other story that I want to hit, by the way, when Russia is coming out saying, hey, this is great work by Iran, showing that they can't believe that. I mean, this is just propaganda for the rest of the world to try to say
And it's
Iran
just
is
an ambassador.
yeah. Iran is being a great actor.
Yeah.
Iran is being
they're
awesome.
just kind of pointing out them being, I guess that's the only positive thing you could point out in this, right? Oh, well, good for them for following the law.
By the way, so this picture came up right here.
Oh, the article. Yeah, I read that article the other day.
G.I. Jane, who's Prego,
Yeah.
and fighting in trenches. Let that sink in. I just want that to sink in.
That's not even close. Like, if I actually wrote a post on this as well. Some of the other women on the front line they serve on the front lines up to 8 months, which is unheard of. Unheard of. On the front, up to 8 months.
That is amazing. Like, that is amazing. That is breathtaking. How does that work? And I'll give you another one.
This is a failed state. Like, this is not a feel-good story. This is like the story when people are like, this is Roger. He's 99 and he works at Walmart. And it's like, yay. That's like, this is not a feel-good story. We should not be proud of women on the front line at 8 months pregnant. Talking about, like, they're like, we have to save the country for our future generations. It's like, you need to go the hell home and put your feet up on a pillow. In the United States military, you're not allowed to, once you're confirmed pregnant, you're pulled right out of that combat duty. Like, you can't be even deployable after a certain like, it's 4 months, maybe 3 or 4 months.
I don't want pregnant women on the battlefield at all. Like, you're there to do a job. Do I really want a pregnant woman ducking in trenches? If you are desperate, and even if you're desperate.
But this is what they do, right? Instead of being like, we're so desperate that our women, yes, they're volunteering, but our women are on the front line well into their third trimester. And instead of saying, like, this is quite troubling, we're facing demographic collapse, it's, yay, girl power. It's so sick.
Look how committed they are to their country.
Yeah. Go die for feminism.
That's a damn shame.
Take your baby with you. It's crazy.
Speaking of people who are having a bad day, here's another one. And I'm doing this to make a point. Here's another one where we are seeing people being interrogated by Darth Vader. And by the way, these are drone operators. People who don't typically get caught.
Сопротивлялись, сразу не сдались. Где блашники ваши? Блашники, где ваши?
По 1962 солдат ПВО.
После работы ППЛАшник тоже.
ПВО сбивали.
Точки актуальные можешь показать? Вашего базирования, точки актуальные можешь показать?
Вот это та, которая была.
Я говорю, соседние точки, где снайпер.
Я не знаю, я не в курсе, честно говоря. Я не в курсе. Тихо.
Точно не в курсе?
Точно.
Now,
Точно.
А ты,
I
может,
don't
ты в
know if you
курсе?
speak any Russian. I don't
Как
know
вот
what
сюда
these guys are
закинули?
saying, but to me, this sounds completely and entirely terrifying. And I
Я,
would imagine as a drone operator, you're not necessarily thinking that you're going to be in the thick of combat. So the reason why I'm showing that is because what's this demonstrating is that the speed and the pace of the Russian advance has gotten to such a degree
Oh
these
yeah.
guys couldn't get away. And I think when I was looking at the stats, they went from a 70% survivability rate to 30% currently. So if you're a drone operator, with the exception of 30%, you're going to die within 6 months. That is amazing. And this is the quote unquote drone war that they decided that they're going to fight as because they don't have the men and materials in order to kind of mobilize in a traditional military sense.
Russia's
doesn't look
moving
like
very
success.
fast, but they're also
Yeah.
taking a lot of hits. You know, they're taking their own hits. They're not really taking a lot of hits in the manpower department, which thankful.
Yes.
They're taking a lot of hits on their refineries. But I guess,
Yes.
you'd rather hit the refinery. Russia's a net exporter, huge oil reserves, et cetera, et cetera. It's better than losing hundreds of men, 100%. But yeah, they're taking hits as well. It's not helping Ukraine advance on the battlefield at all. So I mean, but yeah, they're moving. I said, I was like, this is happening really fast. I don't pay attention to the maps really because things were kind of just steady.
Mhm.
Now I'm like, what's happening? I feel like I'm hearing about 2 settlements a day at minimum. It's just
Yes.
just moving right across. And and it seems like they'll offer. I mean, they made the offer and said, maybe we'll freeze the Zaporozhye and Kherson fronts or something, or maybe he said Sumy or something. He said we'll freeze the front, and they were like, oh, let's think about it. And while they were thinking about it, it's like boom, 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 like kept moving that front as far west as they could, and they came back with a no, and they just kept pushing that front
Yep.
further west. Watched last night. I mean, I watched the maps while they're bombing, especially in the heavy strike packages. It's so far west. They're targeting stuff all the way all the way to the west, right along the border. They're moving very fast. I don't know what the plan is on the Ukraine NATO side.
Well, it seems what the plan is, according to a British diplomat, is to use Trump to try to maneuver Trump. And so Zelensky, which I don't even know how that works. Every time Zelensky opens his mouth, he says he's not doing this and he's not doing that. But I'll talk behind the scenes in good confidence. And so the thought is, well, if we can convince Trump that Zelensky actually is open to peace, then Trump will be mad at the Russians. And if the Russians can convince Trump that they're open to peace, then Trump will be mad at Zelensky. And so the game seems to be who can leverage Trump.
But I
Try
don't
to
think the
convince
Russians
them that the
care.
other-
They'll be like, go stay mad. We don't care.
Yep. I think that's part of the plan. But I think Putin does care on some level, because if Trump walks or gets mad at Zelensky, that's a faster way to end the war.
It won't
Because
end.
otherwise, why go to Alaska?
It won't end. The war's completely privatized. Look at what Trump said the Tuesday or yesterday. He said, we're no longer putting money into this war.
Right.
And he's also said we're making millions and millions off of it. The war's privatized. The war is done for all intents and purposes for the United States. Not for our private sector, but for our public sector. The war is done. We're not giving them any more aid.
That's
You
what a
see?
UK diplomat said too.
That's
He
the
said
Trump
he was
business
like,
plan.
yeah, because he was like, yeah, the US doesn't care. That this is on Europe at this point.
Mhm.
And it's like, is it? I mean, that's not the way the American public sees it. Like, even if that's true, the American public looks at it as this is Trump's war. Trump is president. The war's still going on. They know that the US was deeply involved in the conflict. This is Trump's war. Even if he's privatizing the war, which I did see some of that stuff with, I forget the company, Planeteer, whatever the hell the company is. There's
Palantir,
another
yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah, Palantir.
Mhm.
But the American public sees it as his war. Like, Trump needs to end the war. Trump needs to win. Trump needs these things. I don't know how Trump gets it. It's the catch.
The thing is the optics. Trump has already accomplished what he really needed to accomplish in regards to Ukraine, which is to
Ah, so this-
privatize that war, got the contracts in there. We've got Anduril, Elbet, Palantir all have full contracts in there. What does it matter anymore? He's just doing this for optics and the Peace Prize. Now it's just a pride issue at this point. It's just a pride thing. The war the war machine is rolling. They are fully connected and in line with Israel, and they are ready to rock and roll. Like, those things are in place. The intelligence sharing is in place. That's they're like unmanned sentry towers that can just kill people are down there. Like, there's all kinds of stuff down there. This war, for all intents and purposes, Trump did what he promised his shareholders he would do. But he didn't do what he promised us. Now the optics part is the part he's not going to be able to get, because nobody's going to agree to make it look like so like Pakistan, India, he was like, I did it. And India was like, well, no, you didn't. And Pakistan was like, sure you did. And then everybody kind of just memory hold it. There's no way to do that in this conflict.
I disagree with that. Like, let me explain why I disagree. I agree with the privatization. I agree with that it's optics, but Trump is only optics. Like, he's not a great businessman in the way that he presents himself. America is not winning in the way that Trump presents it. The economy is not booming, and for all intents and purposes, I mean, the amount of money that people are paying. I'm saying that if the only thing that you are, if your only substance, ironically, is optics, you're stuck with those optics. And for Trump to come in and say, I'm going to end the war. I'm going to finish it in 24 hours. I'm going to bring 2 people in a room. I'm a deal maker. I wrote the whatever the art of the deal. I'm that guy. You got to do it.
But the business deals worked.
No,
they're
but the
all
business
getting
deal
so
work.
rich.
Sarah, I get that part. That you go into a back room and you tell your shareholders, I'm going to make you filthy rich.
Yeah.
By privatizing the war. The problem is 99.99999.8% of people weren't in that room.
He already said he doesn't care about them. He said it. I don't need the base anymore. He said it. Go find the quote.
Then why is he pretending to end the war?
Because he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm not kidding. Like, I know it's irrational.
If he didn't care about the public point of view.
That's not the public, the Nobel Peace Prize?
No.
Wants it because Obama got it.
The Epstein thing is a public issue.
Epstein is gone. Every time he brings it up, anybody brings it up, that's a Democrat hoax. Even people in America are holding the line for him. That's done. Say goodbye to the Epstein thing. Oh, yes, they are.
MAGA is
yes, they are.
At Donald Trump over the Epstein
They don't care anymore. But no, they're not going to get it. Now they're mad about the shooting from yesterday.
I think you're giving them too little credit on this one.
What are they going to do?
It's not about what they do. I mean, you can ask that for any political.
What are they going to do? Make them lose the midterms? Oh no, Trump already said he doesn't care.
Well, Trump is not on the midterms.
So that's what I'm saying. What are they going to do to Trump?
Trump cares about public persona, right?
I don't think he does anymore.
I think he does.
He said he doesn't. He said, I don't care about the base. I'm not running again. I don't need them.
That is what his mouth says. As a person, he seems, this is one of the most egotistical men on the planet. I don't believe for a moment.
Then why won't he release the list?
Because he's on the list.
So
he's on the list. That's why.
What's this conversation? So then the list will never get released. The list is done.
I guess my point is the notion that he doesn't care is wrong.
If he cared, he'd release the list.
But
if he cared, he wouldn't say, I don't care.
Trump is a habitual liar. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean they mean it. My dad was a habitual liar.
So we're just going on feelings, how we think Trump feels?
No. Well, what is
Trump
ego?
Just wants the Nobel Peace Prize. He doesn't give a shit what we think about it.
I know, but what is ego if it's not feeling? It's weakness. It's this notion that my ego needs to be fed. If that was the case, why do he have all of these sycophants that are effectively surrounding him? Oh,
he doesn't have to care about everybody else's opinion. He already has his yes men.
All I'm pointing out to you is you don't need yes men if you don't care about people's opinion. You don't have European leaders dragging
yes men to let you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but he cares.
It's not just about ego. They're also retarded, all the people that work for the administration. So what else are they going to say? No. But feasibly, you have to be a realist and say there's nothing that anybody can do. The Epstein list will never be released. At the next election, they will say, who are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the Republicans or are you going to choose the disgusting blue-haired liberal? And everybody who said we wanted the Epstein files will say, I'm just going to vote Republican because the Democrat thing is so scary. And that's the end of it. I don't know what you think is going to happen.
It's not that I think people have quote unquote power over Trump in this case. I'm saying that Donald Trump's behavior has shown itself that he does care. His ego cares.
Then the Epstein thing would be destroying him, and it's not. He does not care. He's saying to them, forget about it. It's a Democratic hoax. Fuck your children. Fuck anything you think. We don't care. It's a Democratic hoax. He does not care.
Why does every world leader flatter him when they come?
Because he has the money, and they have none.
Right. But he feeds off the fact that they give fealty and allegiance to him.
That's a world leader. That's not a person on Twitter asking for the Epstein files. It's very cool when Aliyev bows down to Trump, but he doesn't give a shit if Diligent Denizen is asking for the files on Twitter. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, no, he's not going to release the files. He does not care what happens to us.
I'm not saying Trump is. I've never made the argument he was going to release the files. My argument is he can't release those files because he's in those files. He will posture as if he will. Because
no, he won't. He's already said they're not real.
What are you talking about? He went so far as to get Ghislaine Maxwell to give fake testimony.
She's gone. It's all gone. Forget that the Epstein files exist. He got Ghislaine to come and lie for him, and now the Epstein files do not exist anymore. Like, I don't know what you're saying.
But why is what I'm getting at. Trump could have just said, I don't care what any of you think, and just let it go. Meaning he could have just let
He basically did. He lied to us and told us it was a Democratic hoax. They do not care, dude. They don't care what we think. They're telling us to our faces what they're going to do.
I am trying to point out to you that the entire reason that Ghislaine Maxwell made the testimony is because he did care. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had her do it. I'm saying that there's
a lot more to it than that. She wasn't just excusing him. She excused Bill Clinton.
Which is surprising. That's
no, it's not.
Surprising.
There's the deal. Democrats, you're going to shut the hell up about Epstein files, and I'm going to get Bill Clinton off of the list. And you're over here talking about he cares what the American people think? No, that was a deal. Are you kidding me? Not only was it a deal for the Clintons, it was the deal for the Israelis too, because she said Epstein never worked for Mossad.
I know. I'm surprised that anybody would take that seriously, by the way. It's like, hey, you want this part?
Once again, nobody takes it seriously. They don't care if we take it seriously or not. It's like, here's your slop. Be happy with what you get. Either eat it or go to bed hungry. That's it.
Okay. Fair enough. I disagree. I have given examples of why I think all of these things indicate that he does care about public sentiment on some level. Whether or not he does anything about it is separate from that. But those examples are real. Those are real world phenomena examples of him moving to try to dissuade, undercut, subvert, slow down the things that people are effectively coming at him with. And I guess my point is, on Ukraine, you could say that he doesn't care. Maybe that's true if he wants the Nobel Peace Prize.
Pride issue. Yeah, it's a pride issue at this point. It's like, I can't get these two. I can get these two to come to a deal. I can do it. If anybody can do it, it's me.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. You have to understand the reason for it before you can do that part. Sarah.
Bless you.
I'm sorry, I have a code. I caught a code from
traveling.
I suspect the flight. Yeah, it never fails. Every time.
I do every time.
I'm not going to acknowledge it. Damn it, I'm going to power through it.
Oh, if I don't acknowledge it, it doesn't exist. It works sometimes with like baby colds. So it works sometimes.
It's like a yogi sitting on the mountain freezing, and it's just like, I'm just going to ignore the code.
Yep.
Thank you for this. I will fix this video stream at some point. I need to figure out what's going on with it. It started, I don't know what's going on. It had no issue with Jeff. And because I had no issue with Jeff, I'm beginning to think it's regional, that the problem is coming in. My video stream goes to fine, I guess.
You were fine after about 5 minutes. Yeah, you were fine.
Oh, I was freezing on you also?
Mhm.
Interesting. See, I'm seeing you freezing. You're seeing me freeze. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. That's going to be interesting to watch how this turns out.
We'll see.
Sarah Bils, host of DD
I'm
Geopolitics.
excited.
By the way, Sunday, yes.
Sunday for you, Saturday for me. What time is it again? 5 p.m. for me?
Okay, if it's 5 p.m. for you.
8 p.m. Eastern?
See, it's different now because I'm an hour. It's an hour different now. And I didn't know Indonesia had a difference in time. My time is different now. All right. If it's 8 p.m. Eastern, it is 7. So it's 7 a.m. for me. That's fine.
That's exactly what you said. Yeah. You said 8 p.m. Eastern. You want to do it an hour later, but that would be 9
That's
p.m.
fine.
Eastern.
No. 7 is
Okay.
fine. 7 is perfectly fine.
Yeah, you owe me anyway. I've been waking up at 5:45 for you for months. It's your turn. It's your turn.
5:45. What do you mean 5:45? I thought you did the show at 6. I thought it was 6:30.
6:30. Yeah, I gotta be up at 5:45 to get my dog, get ready.
Oh, okay. Agreed. Agreed. I take no issue with it. No complaints.
Okay.
No
So
complaints.
we'll see you on Saturday. We'll probably talk tomorrow or later today.
Have a good one. Be safe.
You too.
Okay?
You guys have a good
Thank you.
weekend. We'll talk soon.